I remember first meeting Allie at the Missouri Women's Business Center back in 2022, and her telling me about starting this event. And here we are, 3 years in. Last fall, I posted a Facebook status that said, I think I want to write a memoir. A few days later, I received a message from Allie saying, I saw your post and wanted to see if you would like to be a part of the speakers for the next show. I've been holding space for you for a while, though I wasn't sure if it was the right time, but it looks like you are ready. I was frozen, stuck, lost for words. And here I am. I had contemplated what I should speak about, because at my age, it's not hard to have a colorful life of antics. During your childhood, family experiences, joys, heartbreaks, love, marriage, children, divorce 1, divorce 2, successes, and the list goes on. Now, it is important to note that I'm a very private person, and I mean a very private person. But sometimes things are out of your control, and your life sometimes becomes public, something that's being talked about, put under a microscope, and sometimes assumptions made. The last 5 years of my story has been defined by my 18-year-old daughter, Nadria Wright. I say her name every chance I can. She was murdered on September 14th of 2019. That sentence, my 18-year-old daughter, Nadria Wright, was murdered, still shakes me to my core. The story was a very public story here in this community. So tonight, I won't talk a lot about the story, except to say that everything she has been portrayed to be, she absolutely was. Intelligent, beautiful, giving, a great friend, a loving family member, especially to her nephews. She absolutely was and still is in spirit. My family has an angel that watches over us. Okay. During these, thank you. During these last 5 years, people perceived me as having a lot of strength, but I was just getting by, trying to make it one day at a time, like a lot of us do. Most saw the Shaunda who was working hard, running a business, starting a nonprofit, and being a shoulder to cry on, and a voice for others in similar situations. People would say, "You are so strong," or "I don't know how you do it." And I always responded, "I keep going because of the people that support me and who've never given up on me, and mostly importantly for my children and my 3 grandsons," which was true to an extent. But the real truth was, I was barely keeping it going, and there was no part of me that felt strong. I was, in fact, in shambles. Right after Nadria was killed, I had started losing a significant amount of weight. So I just couldn't eat. See, when the ER doctor had came in and said that they had tried to do everything that they absolutely could to save her, but they couldn't, I became sick to my stomach instantly. My grief started in my stomach, and it stayed there, while my heart and my mind battled my new reality. We all know the world doesn't stop because you're going through trials and tribulations, and I knew the world wasn't stopping then. So I had to keep it moving day by day while carrying grief on my shoulders. Honestly, grief had taken over my entire body. But you know the saying, if you don't sit down, your body will sit you down? Well, that's what happened. And on December 21st of 2020, I ended up in the ER, barely breathing and walking, lugging my computer bag filled with all of my important work stuff that I had to do. Since July of that year, I had experienced extreme continuous fatigue. But what do? You catch snoozes when you can, and you keep facing the world. You put on a fake smile, not to make anyone feel uncomfortable, not knowing what to say. I didn't like people feeling sorry for me or to feel pity, not outrightly anyway. So you just keep it moving. By the time I ended up in the hospital, my entire body had had enough. After reviewing my blood work for the second time, because they thought the first one was incorrect because of the concerning results, multiple doctors had came rushing into the room in a frenzy. I ended up staying in the hospital for a week, receiving iron transfusions and blood transfusions. My hemoglobin was a 2, when it should have been a 12. Upon discharge, I was referred to 3 specialists and put on medical leave for a year. My body had come close to essentially shutting down. On my discharge day, one of the doctors said to me, "You are one strong lady." And there it was again. I am strong. But I wasn't. I was sad and depressed. I was tired. I missed my baby, and I wanted Nadria back. Every day, I woke up early, saying to myself, I have to do this again. Another day of life without Nadria. I would go to sleep around 2 a.m., thinking I had to get some rest to make it through the next day, because I had insomnia. I also had bouts of depression, some severe and constant grief that just sat in the pit of my stomach and my heart. Most of the time, I didn't want to be here in this world and wondered why they saved me at the hospital. But there I was, getting up every day, running a business, working a part-time job, smiling, being pleasant to people, helping others, and telling myself I had to be here for my children. But what kind of help was I really to them, or anyone for that matter, if I couldn't even help myself? See, I had plenty of time to think, and believe me, I did. My mind moved constantly, as it always had, but now it was uncontrolled and it was scattered. But one thing I knew was I just had to do better, and I had to stop lying to myself and stop pretending. But how? One morning in 2022, I woke up and I sat on the edge of the bed like I always did. But that morning, I remember lowering my head and crying and saying, "She is gone and she is not coming back." Finally accepting the fact that she was gifted to me and she was not mine to keep. I remembered Psalms, "Children are a gift from the Lord, and they are a reward from Him." And I heard Nadria's voice, just like a whisper. "You got this. Mental toughness, Mom." See, this is what Nadria would say when she would, when I'd want to give up on the many different activities that she'd have me doing. Sorry. Like kickboxing or Zumba or attempting to run a 5K. And I would try to stop right in the middle of the warm-ups, exercises, Let's try to stop. And the stretches. Yeah. She'd say, "You got this." Mental toughness, Mom. I remember during my divorce in 2017, I was driving Adria to school, and she looked over it and she said, "I want to be just like you when I grow up." So I asked her, "Me? Why me?" Nadria said, "Because you are smart, pretty, and strong. My whole life you keep going no matter what you go through, and you never give up." Nadria was breathing life back into me that morning. And I'm sure that Nadria was tired of my stuff down here as she looked on from heaven. Finally accepting that Nadria was gone, was not returning, and I'm a better now situation. Acceptance moved me towards a new journey in my grief, confrontation. Head-on confrontation. I had to confront some things about myself, my health, mentally and physically, spiritually and financially. And although I would never be the old Shaunda back in her entirety, I needed to get back to the Shaunda that Nadria admired so much, the Shaunda she wanted to be just like. So I began breathing life back into myself, determined to reclaim the fearless, outspoken, loving, snarky, and endlessly joking Shaunda, as everyone knows in my family that I am the funniest person, that they know and I know. I had to get back to her. Acceptance was the first and most crucial step in my healing. Confronting my pain of Nadria's tragic death has given me the strength to move forward. And today I stand proud of how far I've come, hopeful for what is ahead. This has not been or will never be an easy road, and I still have many tough days. But standing here is a testament to my strength and growth. So I keep Nadria close to me wherever I go. And on days when I can't hear her words and I can look at my wrist and I can read her words with her signature, reminding me, "You got this. Mental toughness, Mom."